Good morning, everybody. You might be able to get an A out of this. So we're in the key of C major. That's A, B, C, D, E, F, G when there are no sharps and no flats. So everything is natural. Oh, you got the email? Good. Or no, you just got a notification? And I just realized for Susan, I just realized that I messed up, but we'll do it in an hour though. We'll do it. So we're gonna start doing some playing over this easy groove in C major. Everybody just take a breath and just congratulate yourself for being here. So glad we're on day 3 already. We got 3 more days to go. It's gonna be awesome. We were going, we've been trying to play over tunes and play over all kinds of structures, but part of the reason that I like to set this up in the morning is just because it's something that everyone can access. You can access this from every level. And everybody here might feel like there's something that you've heard somebody else do that you couldn't access, right? But I want for everybody to feel that there is something that everybody can access. And on the other hand, within this easy C major groove, there are always things that you can improve within that quote unquote easy framework. Like you can make your groove a little tighter. You can support the violin a little more regularly, right? There's things like that. So I just want to start with, I like to start with kind of long notes and just getting used to like letting our bow flow and change smoothly over that C major. So any note in C major, 2, ready, go. Just getting used to kind of letting the bow change. Just a melodic rhythm that can kind of ground us into the practice. And this is going to be 2 half notes and 4 quarter notes to start. And then I'll give you more melodic rhythms. This is, so with each one of these, you can pick any notes in C major. And by the way, the progression is F major 7 resolving to C major 7. Or you can think of it as F major 9 resolving to C major 9 if you want. So 2 half notes, and then 4 quarter notes. Does that make sense? Let's try that. 2 half notes, 4 quarter notes. prompt you with a couple different types of variations that you could use for this little structure. So it could be like the same note, or it could be just two notes. Even just with thinking I'm going to use two notes, there's so many different ways you could use two notes. Also, it could be improvising your bow, so it doesn't have to all be separated. So you could explore improvising the bow using some separate, some slurred. You could also be shifting. You could also be thinking about your vibrato. You'd be focused on making it really groove, you know, or thinking about how you want that articulation to feel between the two notes. 2, ready, go. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just get that going. Really relax. Try to notice, hear the groove, and see, are you with it? Try to make each eighth note the same. Da, 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 da. And then if you want to change the notes while you keep that moving, you can. One interesting thing is to try to move on the offbeats. Everything is just a suggestion. Check in with your breath. Make sure you're breathing. Check in with your body. Check your neck, your shoulders, your torso. Great. So you can keep that going if you want, or any of the things that we've already been doing, you can continue to do. Another thing you could mix in is to start to, because once we the reason I like to do this bowing exercise is because it really helps us to recognize and internalize every subdivision that's happening, like, because our body is doing it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But it is in some ways more efficient to hook the bow at a certain point. Like if I'm trying to play over this, if I want to play over this fast, I would argue that it's going to be easier for me to do so if I'm slurring the bow much more and hooking the bow. The problem when we slur and hook the bow is that if we haven't internalized the subdivisions, then we don't really do it in a rhythmic way. So. Right, so there's a lot of hooks. There's a lot of hooks and slurs because it's more efficient, right? But I couldn't do those hooks and slurs in time if I didn't really think about the subdivisions a lot, right? So you could double up the subdivision if you want. You could also just work on trying to hook and slur the bow, but while maintaining the integrity of the subdivisions, you know, so. Going in and out of the eighth notes with separate bows versus slurred bows. And also notice how a lot of times I'm moving on the offbeats. So we tend to kind of approach rhythm in a square way as like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. But if you were doing classical music or bluegrass music or R&B or pop, like no groove is actually just square like that. Like a lot of like the impetus comes from offbeats. And we know this even from playing solo Bach. When we think about the phrases of Bach, right? We're starting, some phrases start from 1, some phrases start from 2 or 2 and. So if you just listen with that in mind to my phrases, you'll know that a lot of them are coming from the offbeat, you know? Right? So trying to create that kind of sense of awareness about every subdivision in a very lyrical way, in an intentional way. Okay, hopefully, I don't know if that was really, any of that was clear, but those are some ideas you can try. 2, 3, 4. try this rhythm. Let's try this rhythm. Check this out. So, try that. So really light. How light can you be? Up, down, up. Susan. There we go. Elise, stop, reset. It's going to start up, down, up, down. There we go. Keep it going. Nice. Stephanie, keep your boat moving. There we go. Relax. Breathe. If you want to make it more interesting, you can change the notes. You don't have to. See if you can keep your boat moving like this. So for everybody, this is actually, the thing is just this. This is actually it. Down, up, down, up. So stop. Yeah. Natalie, so stop your boat. Down, up. Yeah, we just want to be there. So even if that's just, if we're just right there, that's where everything comes from. Now, if you want, you can keep that, but with with slurs and separates. So coming in and out of it, of slurs and separate O's. Try to come back to the down, up, down, if you want, or just stay with the separate O's. Try just, what is this, quarter notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And you've got the option that you can play on downbeats or on offbeats. So for example, this is playing on the beat, right? But I can do the same thing on the offbeat. We could do with separate bows or with hook bows. Now, if that's moving too fast, if the quarter note's moving too fast for you, you can do half notes. It's fine, right? Whatever you want with it. Explore that, but also explore it with rests. So. So I'm adding some rests in. You can do it with rests or without rests. Again, you can play half notes and rests, or half notes and no rests. But the practice is what can you notice while you're in that form. It's not important like how much ability you have, how much rhythmic ability, how much technical ability. I think it's more important that you're engaged in the process and that you're developing awareness, and that whatever resistance that you're encountering, whether that's frustration or anxiousness or, you know, like negative talk, I think it's really important to try to find love for yourself. That's the most important thing, in my opinion, through this practice. Like, every one of you is perfect exactly where you're at. Like, you're intelligent, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're powerful, you're capable in so many ways. So I think that's the opportunity. yeah, of course, we're all going to find things that we notice, like, oh, I could have done that differently or whatever. The opportunity is, how do you respond to yourself? Can you find a way to 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 be okay with yourself? You know, to overcome that like confronting feeling. You know what I mean? So breathe. 2, you got it. go to a different groove. I just want to see if anybody has anything we want to share though before we go. Any questions or any observations you want to share?
Ghosting hurts. So, and I'm realizing that I rely on the string to help hold up the bow versus relying on my injured shoulder to keep it in the air. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, well, watching you, I feel like I sense that there's a lot of tension. And yeah, I would say actually that if we support the violin here, then we can allow more weight to be here and your shoulder can be more relaxed. And also, you use a lot of energy with your bow. And you're holding it up. I don't necessarily want to hold it up. I want to let my arm go like this, and I'm using a lot less. Right? So I see when you're kind of holding it up, and but what you said, like that the string is holding the bow. Yeah, if you're holding the violin with your neck, then it's going to be unsustainable. So like for example, a lot of times I'll show people this. I don't know if you want to try it, but if you hold your violin with your right hand like this, you'll immediately notice that it gets very heavy. And it hurts this. And then you can imagine like that if you were to put more weight right here with the extra lever, like just how painful that would be and how unsustainable that would be. And what's the fix for that is this. Now there's no weight on my arm. Well, your arm in this situation is your neck. That's what you're doing to your neck. It's unsustainable. So you'll cause pain, injury, immobility, et cetera, et cetera. So the neck should not be load bearing for the violin like this. It's the worst thing in the world. It should be like this. We carry it with our arm, which is actually coming from our back. This is just how I understand it. And I know that like people will nerd out about it, and there's several teachers in here that could explain it in a different way or whatever, maybe better than me. But that's how I think about it. So it's really complicated, but one thing I would say for you is just to think about if you can find ways to support from here more, and then also just much lighter in your arm and let your shoulder drop. That would be my suggestion.
Thank you.
Yeah, but also in like another half hour, I think we're gonna have Susan do a little PT thing, just helping us with some stretching. And then later this afternoon, she's going to talk about injury prevention at 1 or 1:30. So that might be key for you. And there might be other teachers in here that want to approach you and tell you like, hey, what Chris said was wrong. It's actually like this. So feel free if you have a better idea or a more helpful way to say it. Anything else anybody notice? Yeah, Pete?
Yeah, switching from the downbeat to the offbeat takes a little bit of challenge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so one way to deal with that is to stay here, So instead, a lot of times I think when we're trying to play the syncopations, it throws our arm off. So if we can kind of take a step back and be like, wait, let me just be here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then just grab like occasional accent 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Now another thing you can do with any of these is you can actually just do it like, like tapping on your leg. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, and this is all the exact same thing. This is the same thing. Jason showed us yesterday. He said you can practice it like this. He does it like this. He says it's just like the bow. I'd never seen that before.
Oh, that's nice.
Up, 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 up. So you can do this walking down the street, and I do. I do. Like when I don't have my instrument in my hand, I'm just like geeking out. My brain is full of numbers and subdivisions. I'm like doing this all the time, and it did not come natural to me at all, at all. In fact, I don't know. I probably told some people the story when I joined an R&B band when I was 20, and everybody in the band said, "You're not going to play the violin in this band. You're going to hit a cowbell and you're going to do a two-step." And that's all I was allowed to do. And I had to practice the two-step, and like the guys were showing me how to do the two-step. And you know what a two-step is? It's just like right, left, right. And I had to practice it for months. And they were like, "How's your two-step going?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll show it to you." The guy was like doing it with me. He said, "No, you don't have it yet, but keep working on it." And it's just, trying to get the snap and now I can do a two-step, but that was not natural to me. It was not easy for me. So practicing groove and practicing like subdivision and stuff like that it's a whole area of effort and labor and work that we just haven't had to take responsibility for it. And sometimes I like to make the analogy that it's kind of like when I had kids and like I didn't have to change diapers, but then it was like someday I was like, okay, I have to change diapers now, so I have to learn how to change diapers, or I have to learn how to clean the house, or I have to, like, these are kinds of things that sometimes we might be tempted to say, well, I don't have to do that labor. I don't have to learn how to do it. I don't know how to do that, so I'm just not going to learn how to do it. But then that's kind of anyway. But good point, Pete. Sorry, I was just saying, like, it's, and I'm just saying, like, for you to share that, I appreciate it. But I look around here and I can tell that a lot of people are struggling with the same thing, and I struggle with it too. So, but rhythm is endless too, right? Like, so I mean, like, this is one group, but then there will be another group, and then there's another, and it's like, okay, but can you play in 13? I mean, I don't know. It's like rhythm is endless. So it's not like we're gonna get this one thing and then it's like, "Ooh, now I've arrived." It's just a journey. Yeah, Marlene, what were you gonna say?
Starting and ending on the offbeats, especially the ending of the offbeats, I felt the difference with that. So, thank you.
Oh, cool.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you liked that.
I like,
That was helpful.
Yes.
You heard something new you were doing.
Yes.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I had something when I was doing the offbeats, I felt like I had to keep the beat going. So I had something physical to go against, and then I went to slurring it. So I wasn't changing bows, so I lost that physical cue too.
Right.
And that was a lot harder to keep the offbeats going with slurring.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Anybody else? Anything else? Okay, cool. Let's try a different loop. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what we got. That one. Well, it might be interesting to switch to this for a second. So because with some of the music we're doing with Michael Jeffrey Stevens, one of his songs, it has this modal change, right? So I think we can do this. This will be a different side of our brain. And we've done this. We were doing this with Poinciana last night, where it's one scale goes to another scale. We did a version of this yesterday. So the two scales I want to go through on this exercise are going to be the D major scale and the what is this other one? B flat major. So let's just try let me see here. Let me just hear this loop. So this is we're just listening. So this is D major with the key. Now this is B flat. No. So F major. Yeah. So we're going to work on going between those two tonalities. So maybe just to get oriented to it. Can everybody just play after me? So you play D major. Right, and then F major. Right, cool. So the trick is that we want to be able to approach those tonalities all across the instrument. So maybe we'll play after me. How can we do this? Yeah, play that. D. And F. T major. F major. Yeah, so most of us, I think, can kind of access it from the root position, but the trick is to access it without starting on the root of the scale, right? So I'm trying to think how we can work on this. Well, let's just do it really slow to start. So we'll play long notes, and it's going to be any note in D major. Okay, long note. Ready, go. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When C and F is sharp. Now change to F major. So the only accent incidental is a B flat. Back to D major, 2 sharps. And back to 1 flat. Now if you want to move faster, you can. So, D major, any note in D major. Now any notes in F major. F major. D major scale. F major scale. Long Island wedding band, they do it like this, 2 sharps. 1 flat. Cool. So let's say you had like somebody that just started playing the instrument like just this year, right? And it doesn't matter if they're an adult or if they're a child or whatever. And so, because there's teachers here, they're like, how do I teach this to kids? So one of the ways you could teach this to kids is you could say, we're only dealing with 1 string, right? So like on the, let's say on the A string, for example, well, no, I'm gonna use the D string because it's just easier for me to explain. So on the D string on the violin, it's like, okay, when we're in D major, we have a high 2nd finger. And when we're in F major, we have a low 2nd finger. And that's the only difference that somebody would need to know. But within that, I could still have so many variations, you know, so for example, difficult form to play, and it's still very creative just on that 1 string. So anybody in here can do that. If you're having a hard time accessing the two key signatures across 4 strings, which most of you are. Let me just say, like, and I'm saying that for those of you that are being like, but I'm having a hard time with this. I'm saying this for you to know that everybody else is having a hard time with it, okay? I'm not being like it's not easy, right? The thing is, we think like, I know the major scale, but it's deeper than we think, right? So for the advanced players, it's like we'll play it in 3rds, 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th position, triple stops. Like there's so many ways that you can, you know. Like if you're advanced, I do not want to hear you complain that this is too easy for you. It is not easy, because even if you can find all those notes that, you know, but for people that are feeling like this is too hard, I'm giving you a way to access it. 1 sec, which is like pick 1 string where you can where you're like, I know that this is, I know that those notes work within D major, and I know that they work here with F major. Pick 1 string, or start from the root of the chord. Like just do what you can, right? Yeah, Ronald.
Yeah, but when you do this,
2 sharps, 1 flat. That was something I learned playing. I said it's a Long Island wedding band thing. When I used to play in the wedding bands on Long Island, the band leaders, they go like this, and because you never stop the gig, you know. And so they're like, now we're in 2 sharps, now we're in 3 sharps, and it's,
They were throwing gang signs.
Not gang
They are
signs.
gangs.
They are, yeah, you're right, yeah. So, what's that? Oh, sorry, yeah. You probably couldn't hear me, but that's like a real thing. I used to do a lot of wedding gigs on Long Island when I was in New York to pay the bills. Different types of wedding bands, yeah. And that threw me off, because I'd be like, what is that? And it was like, no, with 3 flats, that was just how they did it. I was just doing that to try to give you the reminder that that's where the change. So does that kind of make sense a little bit? Now, if you're able to deal with this, if it's like comfortable enough for you, then I would give you the invitation to try to make a pattern out of it. So for example, a voice-led pattern. So let's say I'm doing this pattern. Let's say I'm doing that thirds pattern in D major. Well, then I'm going to keep going in F major. I'm going to stay where I was. And then when I move back, I'm still there, but I'm in D major. Right? Or let's say I'm doing this in D major. F. It doesn't matter the difficulty of the pattern, it's just having a pattern. So your pattern could be like, that's fine. Now I go to F, but for where I was, now D. Does that make sense? So try the patterns if you want, or try just any of that. Here we go, and. Cool. So we're going to do the same chord progression twice as fast. Twice as fast. 2 sharps. 1 flat. to the other one, which was twice as long. 1, 2, 3. Now twice as fast. The harmonic rhythm is twice as fast. Bring out one more loop here. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Okay, so all we're gonna do first is just count. So, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just silently, just count. With just our bow, we can just try to keep that count. 2, 3, 4. Try to relax. Can we get a little run pony going with this? Just really like the run pony, run pony, run pony. Down, up, down, up, down. So the run pony looks like this. So, I'm trying to make the point of how little bow I'm using. Am I making the point? 1, 2, ready, go. If you want like a stretch for yourself, then you can mix runs and ponies. So they run, pony, pony, run, pony, run, pony, run, run, pony, run, pony, pony, run, pony, run, pony, 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 run, pony, run, run, pony, 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 run, pony, pony, run. So listen. Okay. 1, 2, you got it. Or just be on runs. Run, 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 run. Or ponies. Pony, 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 pony. Less bow. Less bow. Yeah. Yes. Breathe. Of F major, so just one flat works fine. If you want to mess around with that, just have a little fun with this groove. I'll just give you some demonstrations really quickly of things I might try. F major, D natural minor. Different things you can try. 1, 2, you got it.